Hare Krishna. So we are on the chapter 4. Um, we'll be reading from 24, verse 24 onwards. So welcome everyone to the Bhagavad Gita class. We are in the section where Krishna talks about Nishkama Karma Yoga. That is understanding how to work as a sacrifice. Work as a sacrifice. So this follows what Krishna has been saying about how there is no work which affects him, because he is unborn, he is not affected by the work that he does. And that all the liberated souls in the past understood this and worked in Krishna consciousness, understanding from verse 14 and 15. So this is the 16 onwards, the verses in which Krishna talks about. It is the Maybe we can call it this as a tricky section. I have in the summary I have wrote that as a tricky section because Srila Prabhupada's purport, Prabhupada says in 17th verse, to understand Krishna consciousness and action according to its modes, one has to learn one's relationship with the Supreme. That is, one who has learned it perfectly knows that every living entity is an eternal servitor of the Lord, and that consequently one has to act in Krishna consciousness. So the entire Bhagavad Gita is directed towards this conclusion. Any other conclusion against this consciousness and its attendant actions are vikarmas or prohibited actions. So we need to understand what is vikarma and akarma. So that is explained in verse 17. 18 explains Arjun's fighting is a karma and Duryodhan's is karma or vikarma. So this is akarma. Bhakti is the highest form of akarma. Verse 20 to 24, it describes akarma or nishkama karma yoga, mainly in quite broad terms, which may be applied to Krishna consciousness or less personal approaches. Of course, we should understand that the basic idea is to apply these principles in devotional service, but they may be applied in other approaches with benefit. As the following section explains, however, as the section after this one explains its reality in the relation with the Krishna consciousness, that one reaps the results to the maximum. That is the section D, which we'll be doing from 25 and 33, which we will also do today. So in section D, which if you look at the summary, the basic idea is that there are many bona fide sacrifices which can help a person to develop transcendental knowledge, which may be of Brahman, not necessarily Krishna consciousness. So all Brahminical activities cannot be called as Krishna conscious activities. If they are done properly, as per third chapter, as per third section about how karma kanda can bring one to karma yoga, etc. So even if it is done avidhi purvak, it is still bring you to Krishna consciousness. But the way of doing it has to be, remaining away from the results of those karmas. So different types of bona fide sacrifices which lead to transcendental knowledge to different degrees. So that is from 25, verse 25 to 32. So these are all recommended processes coming from the Vedas. So sacrifices in demigod worship and Brahman realization, that explained in 25th verse. 26th verse talks about sacrifice of following asramas, which ashram that you follow, and continue your practice of Krishna consciousness. Whether you are in brahmachari ashram, you are in grihastha ashram, you are sannyasi ashram, or you are in the vanaprastha. So if you are following that ashram, but at the same time you are also doing Krishna consciousness with complete surrender to Krishna. Yeah. So that is what Krishna tells and Krishna talks about. Even if somebody is following Patanjali yoga system, but at the same time, his complete attention is on the Paramatma who is residing in the region of the heart. So part of pranayam process of Ashtanga yoga, these are all bona fide processes and purify the performers. And they advance towards spiritual realization because you are preparing the body to make sure that you are then able to concentrate on the Paramatma in the heart. So for that, all these things are, very uh, sacrificial because it is not easy to follow the Patanjali yoga system for everyone because doing this practice of pranayama, and doing all the other things along with pranayama, it's not easy to follow on a daily basis. Those who are doing on a daily basis pranayam, for them it is चलो आज छोड़ देते हैं आज नहीं करते हैं, right? So that's normally because that is our swabhava, that we don't want to do it at some point in time. But let's go to verse 24 and chant it. I will chant and you repeat. Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir
ब्रह्मा अर्पणं ब्रह्मभिः
Brahmano Brahmanahutam
ब्रह्माग्नो ब्रह्मणाहुतं
Brahmaiva tena gantavyam
ब्रह्मेव तेन गन्तव्यम्
Brahma karma samadhinaha.
ब्रह्म कर्म समाधिना.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. So, yajna acharata karma. Generally, people think yajna is fire sacrifice only. But no, for every yuga, the yajna is defined separately. For Treta Yuga, it's different. As Dwapar Yuga, it is different. Satya Yuga, it is different. And for the Kali Yuga, it is only Harinam Sankirtan, yajna, has to be done. So the word sacrifice is related to word sacred. So first, Krishna will give a broad meaning of sacrifice and then he will mention how Arjun can do the sacrifice. So here, Brahmaharpan Brahma Havir. So that Havi is butter. So when we do the fire sacrifice, we do the obligations and we offer every time swaha. When we say we do ghee and along with that some uh, few more things, and then we do the arpana of those things. Brahma arpanam, Brahma agnau, Brahma agnau. Here Brahma doesn't mean Brahma Jyoti, but Brahma means spiritual. And Brahmana Hutam, the person doing offering is also spiritual. Whenever we see that when we do any Vastu Puja or Shanti or Yajna, then Pandit says, he utter your name, utter your gotra, just to bring your attention that you are doing it. So that process is to bring your attention to the process of Yajna so that you are the one who is the Karta. And to purify your consciousness, it is very important that your name, your gotra, the sthana, and like you must have heard that Bharat Khande at so and so tithi, so and so date, and so place, we are offering this yajna, and who is doing it, that person's name, and then your gotra is uttered. So as soon as that uttered, we get alert. An alert comes to our body and we get fully attentive about that. Oh, it is done for me, it is for my benefit, and we get an absolute attention to the process. And brahmaivatena gantavyam, the destination attained is also spiritual. So the person who is offering is all spiritual. At the same time, Brahmaivatena Gantavyam, the destination attained, is also spiritual. Brahma Karma. The person is doing spiritual work. Samadhina. The person is absorbed in a samadhi. So what is the meaning of the complete verse? Brahmarpanam Brahmavir, Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam, Brahmaivatena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. So what we are offering, we are so obligations, and we are offering with the ghee, right? And there are certain shlokas are getting, recited during that process. Agneya Namaha, and then Agneya Swaha, this Swaha, that Swaha, all those things Pandit will say during that time. But before doing that, he makes sure that you are alert, that you are performing, so you get spiritualized. The destination that you want to reach is also spiritual destination. The person doing is spiritual, is doing a spiritual work. And the final is that he is absorbed in the samadhi. So when one acts in the spirit of yajna, then all of his existence become like a sacrifice. So once someone understands that it is Shri Krishna's energy present everywhere, and that Krishna's energy is all encompassing, ultimately all is Krishna's energy. They can use it for Krishna's service, or they can use for sense gratification, but ultimately it is Krishna's energy. So the difference between material and spiritual is we can discuss in two ways. Compositional sense, what was it composed of? And application sense, what it is used for. Isn't it? So the composition is what it is composed of. And application sense, what it is used for. So the usage is always spiritual usage. And the composition is of the matter. And matter is also external energy of Krishna. So compositional means what is material and what is spiritual. It depends on what it is made of. For example, if something has made of Sat Chit Ananda, it is spiritual. And if it is made of 5 gross matter, it is material. But there is also an application sense. Prasad may be made of something material, but it is spiritual as it is used for spiritual purposes. So, Panchamrita. Once the Panchamrita Snanam is done, Panchamrita has been offered to the Lord, and then we have that Panchamrita. It is spiritual. The spiritual master's body is spiritual as it is used for spiritual purposes. That body may also become old, but that doesn't mean that it is materialistic as ordinary people's body. That's why all the sannyasis who are initiating gurus, they are all taking the samadhi. Even if they die the natural death, their body is not cremated with fire. They are always buried, and they are buried in a sitting position, cross legs. And then we put all kinds of, chandan and this and that, and then the holy soil is also put on them. So like that, we completely cover that wherever we bury it. And then on the top of that, we make the samadhi sthal. So all the acharyas, those who were there in the past, hundreds and thousands of acharyas above us, they had come. So their samadhi sthal has been created at various places. Not all of them are in Mayapur, but wherever they have taken the samadhi, it is their place. Like Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, all their samadhis are in Vrindavan because they were belonging to that place. So their samadhis have been created there. So this is all spiritual. So whatever work they are doing is spiritual. What matter they are using becomes spiritual because it is used for the spiritual work. So this is how we need to understand. There is a bhojan mantra which is recited in RSS. in that also this particular mantra has been recited. Brahmaharpanam Brahmavir Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaivater Gandhavya Brahmakarma Samadhina Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Vunaktu Saviryam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadi Tamastu Mavid Bishavahi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So this particular shloka has a very beautiful understanding in terms of what it is done for, who is doing this, and how it is done, what is used for doing it, the oblations that we do during the yajna process. Those oblations are matter, but they are spiritual matters because they are offered to the Brahmagni. So that is the reason it is very important to know that what the oblations that we are offering it to the Lord during the yajna process, and those oblations are of various things that we offer, but they are all a separated energy of Krishna. And those separated energy of Krishna, we are spiritualizing by offering it to Krishna, because Krishna, you have given them to us. Like when we take snana in Ganga or Yamuna or Saraswati, first what we do is we offer that water back to Ma Ganga, Ma Yamuna, Ma Saraswati. Is it required to be done? But no, but as part of our duty, we offer it to them. And this is also a process that before we put our feet in Yamuna or Ganga or all the sacred rivers, we make sure that we first offer it to that particular river and wash our feet before going in, because we are anyway impure, but we are taking the permission to take bath in that holy river. There's so many rivers in India. They are all coming from Himalayas. And these rivers are actually the personification of various devis, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. Then there are, other rivers are there. Brahmaputra is there. All these are very sacred rivers which are coming from a spiritual world to show their presence in the material world as a independent external energy of Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada has said there are two boxes, golden box and a gold plated box. So golden box are like Satchidananda body. And gold plated box is also made of gold. Everything is Sri Krishna's energy, right? Gold plated, inside the gold plated, there could be wood. There could be some other metal as well. However, when the gold plating is done on that, then it is spiritualized, or it has become Krishna, or it becomes gold. Various acharyas have given the commentary on this, like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakurpad has mentioned that re-envision the battlefield as yajna. So Arjun asks Krishna that, Krishna, if you wanted me to perform yajna, then it is better. I will go to the forest and perform yajna. But then Krishna is saying, no, this itself is yajna. That what you are doing, you are following my instruction, and the battlefield for you is yajna. This is yajna sthali for you. And your gandiva, the bow, is your ladle or spoon. Ahuti is Kauravas, and Virata Rupa will accept the sacrificial fire offering. That's why he shows his Virata Rupa. So everything has a very beautiful meaning, from Ahuti to oblations. Ahuti, oblation is one and the same thing, and its purpose of doing it, and to whom are we doing it. So the Virat Rupa of Krishna, it is shown 3 to 4 times. First, when Yashodama asked him to open the mouth. Then again he shows in the Kaurav, in the assemblies. And then he shows again to Arjun on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So all three were different. The Virat Rupa which is shown to Arjun on the battlefield of Kurukshetra was the best, and it was very, very scary, because Arjun said, no, I cannot see you like this. come back to your original rupa. I want to see you in that particular rupa. I want to see you in your sarupa. So in this course also we are Brahma Arpana Brahma Havir. We are speaking and hearing and we are offering our consciousness to Krishna. So everything is spiritualized. This way we will attain spiritual platform by hearing it regularly. So Srila Prabhupada's purport, the word Brahma means spiritual. The Lord is spiritual and the rays of his transcendental body are called Brahma Jyotir, his spiritual effulgence. And everything that exists is situated in that Brahma Jyotir. But when the Jyotir is covered by illusion, that is Maya or sense gratification, it is called material. Some people, just for the sake of saying, they say that, no, I am spiritual, I'm religion agnostic. I don't believe in any religion, or religions are same. Yes, that's right. But when the bad time comes to you, what do? You take somebody's shelter, and that somebody is a higher authority. And that higher authority is also believing in something higher than him. So it is actually, you are going to the same path which you are not accepting to go right now. You may say in a different way, but actually you are meaning the same thing, that you finally surrender to somebody who you don't want to say as God. So without a sampradaya, the knowledge does not mean anything. You have to follow one of the four sampradayas. What are the four sampradayas, Reduga?
We're talking about the Vaishnava Sampradayas.
Yes. No, all sampradayas. There's Vaishnava or not Vaishnava.
They have Vaishnav and they have like
Okay.
Shaivats, like that. Is that what you're asking?
Okay. So there are Rudra Sampradaya, okay, Shri
Hmm.
Sampradaya, Kumara
Shiva, and then
Sampradaya,
the
and
Kali.
Brahma
Yes.
Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. So these are the four Sampradayas. So these four are the authorized Sampradayas, and they all are going towards Krishna only, to Vishnu. They all are taking us to Vishnu only. You follow any of these Sampradayas, you will be tending towards Krishna only or Vishnu.
Wait. So you said Kumara, Gaudiya, and
So Shri Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, and Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, which Srila Prabhupada is the founder and also one of the acharyas.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything is coming from Krishna. So it is spiritual, but when it is covered by Maya, we think that it is for the sense gratification. So we have to be very careful when we are starting to understand what is spiritual, what is material. And that is the larger meaning of this particular verse. It is very important. So make sure that you understand it perfectly. Ask questions if you have any, and I'm happy to answer those questions. Yeah. Now we reach to the section D, which is 25 to 32, verse from 25 to verse 32. So the basic idea is that there are many bona fide sacrifices which can help a person to develop transcendental knowledge, which may be of Brahman, not necessarily Krishna consciousness, if they are done properly as per the third section of this particular chapter. Then about how karma kanda can bring one to karma yoga, etc. Are we understanding what I'm talking about, Varun Prabhu? Yeah.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
So different types of bona fide sacrifices which lead to transcendental knowledge to different degrees. So they are talked about in this section from 25, verse 25 to verse 32. Okay. So let's go to verse 25 now.
Yeah.
Devamevapare yajnam yoginah paryupasate.
Nevam evapare yagyam
Yajnam
yogina
yogina
paripasate.
paripasate.
Brahmagnavapare yajnam yajnenevopayujyati.
Brahmagna apare yagyam
Brahmagna apare yajnam
yagyenevopajuhati.
yajnenevopayujyati.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them, and some offer sacrifices in the fire of the Supreme Brahman. Okay. So now Krishna is describing different kinds of yajna, different yajnas, that is literal sacrifices, Nishkama Karma Yoga, worship of Devatas, Sakama Karma Yoga, and offering Atma to Brahman, that is Jnana Yoga, and restraining the senses, Naishchiki Brahmacharis, 4.26. So 4.25, 4.26. So all these verses, they are all talking about this. So restraining the senses, that is like, uh, you know, uh, when the object of sense gratification comes in front of you, just restrain your senses. Don't let them go towards the sense gratification. It is very difficult. Remaining indifferent to the action of the senses is very, very hard. You see, there is a, beautiful rabdi is in front of you and you are restraining yourself. That no, I will not eat it. Why? Because it is not offered to Krishna. So that way of restrainment, I'm giving a very, very, rudimentary example here. However, the meaning here is that how one can restrain his sense objects. The sensual, uh, limbs of the body. So restraining the senses and prana, that is Jnana Yoga. That is coming in 4.27 verse. And practice of severe vows, karma, Jnana Yoga, and Ashtanga Yoga comes under 4.28. So controlling the breath. So that is pranayama or Patanjali Yoga, that is 4.29. And restraining eating is yoga is again 4.29 only. So Daivan means unto devatas. Apare means some people. Yadyam is those who are worshipping devatas. So yogina paryupasate means even those who are worshipping are yogis, they are at one level connected to Krishna. They are not connected with Krishna at very high level, but they are acknowledging that there are some higher powers. Brahmagnav, apare yajnam. There are others who perform yajna. Yajne avaipo ajuhavati. They offer themselves to Brahman. They offer soul into Brahman. They conceptualize that Brahman is the absolute truth. And I have to merge into that. So that is where the impersonal Brahmans comes into picture. They think that the moksha is to getting merged uh, in the Brahma Jyotir. So the point here is that different kinds of sacrifices. So Krishna is giving vision that how various religious activities in Vedic culture are different kinds of yajna. So after describing these various types of yajna, Sri Krishna will describe purpose and recommended Arjun what he should do. And in the Srila Prabhupada's purport, those who are interested in material benefit, Prabhupada says they worship the demigods by various sacrifices according to the Vedic rituals. They are called Bhava Ishvara Vadi or believers in many gods. So today you have problem with a particular thing, you go to this devata. Tomorrow you have some other problem, you go to that devata. So like that, you are also keep changing your priorities. You are not obedient to some one god. You are going everywhere. So this is also called as polytheism. There can be many supreme for such people. So different gods are having charge of different departments. They are under one supreme god. This is the multi-level monotheism. So Christians believe there are false god and true god. So that is the reason why when they would conquer some territory, they will destroy all god worship. They're thinking that it is false god. But Vedic understanding is that there are subordinate gods. There are assistant of supreme god. And in generic principle, in when Prabhupada wrote all the commentaries, he gave a very good definition of demigods. Yes, Renuka.
I think we covered this question when we were doing chapter 3, but just to refresh, there are so many types of yogas, and I know that we discussed on karma yoga as well, like those who haven't yet gotten to, understand the philosophy well, they just continue doing karma yoga, and that's fine by them because that's what they know, and that's what was like, that's the closest they can get to the Supreme Lord. So that's why they keep doing it. But at any point, is like one type of yoga higher than the other or anything like that, or all of them are valid? I know there's preferred
So if I understand
that
your question, yeah, go on.
so we prefer not to do karma yoga because then that's just us doing actions for receiving things like that. That becomes a bit, in my understanding, it's more like transactional. I give you this, I want this, that kind of process, and it keeps going on and on. So we prefer not to do that. But then is there like one yoga higher than the other? Is that a thing?
Okay, so here it is. So if I understand your question right, so you want to know whether Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga, there are three, and there is also Patanjali Yoga system, which is the Pranayama, Ashtanga Yoga, and all those things, right? So which one is the highest, and whether we should be doing only Karma Yoga, or we should be doing only Bhakti Yoga, or we should be doing only Jnana Yoga? Which one is the best to do, right? Is that the question? Of what is the
No. My
hierarchy?
question is like, yeah, is there a
Yeah, what
hierarchy?
is the
Is there a
hierarchy?
ranking?
Yeah, what is the hierarchy? So the Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. That is the first thing. That is why Karma Yoga to Bhakti, Jnana Yoga to Bhakti. We are always trying to go towards Bhakti Yoga. Okay? And Krishna tells at the end of third chapter to Arjun that even if you are ready for the Jnana Yoga, you still continue doing Karma Yoga to set the example because you are a leader. So when you set the example as a Grihastha, that you are still doing the Karma Yoga to Bhakti, that people will follow you. Because the larger audience of the Bhagavad Gita will be only the Karma Yogis who should be able to follow the Karma Yoga. Okay. Within the Karma Yoga, if somebody wants to do the Ashtanga Yoga, that is fine. Ashtanga is not ultimate. But what happens? People, those who are doing Ashtanga Yoga, they have not been educated properly to understand that Ashtanga Yoga is only to make sure that your body is ready to meditate upon the Lord who is sitting inside with the soul as a super soul in your body. So when you are ready to meditate upon that, then you are ready to do the yoga. Okay, so that is one of the yoga systems out of. So this Ashtanga Yoga. So that is to prepare the body in order to meditate upon. What we are talking about here is Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. Understanding that the Bhakti Yoga is the topmost yoga system. Now, Karma Yoga to Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga to Bhakti Yoga. So, first six chapters of Bhagavad Gita are Karma Yoga to Bhakti Yoga. So, do your prescribed duty and still worship Krishna. Jnana Yoga is understand the Jnana and do Bhakti Yoga. And those who are ready to do direct Bhakti Yoga, they can directly do the Bhakti Yoga. They don't need to worry about the Karma Yoga and the Jnana Yoga. But for Grahasthas and the people, those who are in leadership qualities, leadership position, they should do Karma Yoga to Bhakti. So that they can set the example, people can follow them, and they can lead people to Bhakti Yoga going that way. Did I answer your question now properly?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. All right. So verse 26. Anyone wants to chant verse 26? Okay, I'll do it.
You want me to do, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Shrotadi. It's difficult, Prabhu. I think you can start.
Okay, no problem. I'll do it. Shrotradri indriyanyanye
Shrotadi indriyanye
samyaga samyamagagdishu juvati
samyamaknushu juvati
shabdadin vishayanyanya
Shabdadin Vishayan Anya
indriyagdishu yuyati.
Indriyagnishu Yuhati
Again, Shotradrin Indriyanyanye
Indriyaganye
Sanyamagrishu Juyati
संयमाग्निषु
Samyagnishu
जुह्यति
Juhavati
Shabdadin Vishayanyanya
Shabdadin Vishayan
विषयान्यन्य
Anya
Indriyagnishu Juyati.
Indriyagnishu
इन्द्रियाग्निषु
Juhavati
जुह्यति.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Some, the unadulterated brahmacharis, sacrifice the hearing process and the senses in the fire of mental control. And others, the regulated householders, sacrifice the objects of the senses in the fire of the senses. A bit difficult, isn't it? So, this verse talks more on the Shotra din Indriyan Anya. Anya means some other people. In previous verse, spare is used for this. Juvvati, offer. They offer what? They offer hearing process. They use their ears and turn them inward and offer them to the mind. They offer their hearing process into fire and mental control or self-restraint. Understanding that, there is a danger. So I need to control. Self-restraint has to be used by using your mental control. So essential principle of sacrifice is whatever we should have used for our pleasure, we are using for Krishna's pleasure. And in the process, we will get higher pleasure by connecting back to Shri Krishna. So ears, we can use it for so many things. We can hear movie music, Bollywood music, etc. That will give some pleasure. But when we offer ear toward mental control, that means we don't hear what we like, but we hear spiritual sound. They use their sense in words. They offer their senses to the mind. So, Srila Prabhupada explained as unadulterated brahmacharis. This is one level of yajna. Other sacrifice, Srila Prabhupada explained as a regulated householder. There is contact between senses and sense object. But that contact is not unregulated. and irreligious. That context is based upon the sacrifice. So when we go towards maybe the 7th chapter, Krishna is saying religious sex is he himself. Srila Prabhupada's purport says brahmacharis hears only words concerning Krishna consciousness. So they actually restrain themselves from hearing anything that is not Krishna consciousness. They just want to, so like kind of tortoise, which takes all his limbs inside. The moment something comes closer to it, he takes all the limbs inside. Similarly, the brahmachari hears only words concerning Krishna consciousness. Anything other than that, they just close their eyes, they close their ears, or close their eyes when something is not to be seen by them, which will spoil their mind. So hearing is the basic principle for understanding. And therefore, the pure brahmachari engages fully in Hare Nama Sankirtan. The chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord is something that they are only trying to do. So they restrain themselves from the vibrations of material sounds. And their hearing is engaged in the transcendental sound vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Similarly, the householders who have some license for such gratification perform such acts with great restraint. So for them, the sex life, intoxication, and meat eating are general tendencies of human society. But a regulated householder does not indulge in unrestricted sex life and other sense gratification. So this is something, it is principally, theoretically, it's very good. But how difficult it is to practice is what we need to understand as practitioners, as sadhakas, that how we can follow this path. And is it really practical to do so? And how much can we do it? So that is the test that we all have to go through on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. Can we do one more verse?
Yes,
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
please.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I'll chant and you repeat. Sarvani nindriyar karmani
Sarvani nindriya karmani
prana karmani chapare
Pranakarmani chapare
atma samyama yogagnau
Atma Sayyam Yogadnau
No.
juyati jnana dipati.
Juhati Jnana Dipati
Again, verse 4. Sarvandi indriya karmani
Sarvani Indriyani Karmani
prana karmani chapare
Pranakarmani Chapare
atma samyama yogagnau
Atma Sayyam Yogadnau
juyati jnana dipite.
Juvati Jnana Dipite.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Others who are interested in achieving self-realization through control of the mind and senses offer the functions of all the senses and of the life breath as oblations into the fire of the controlled mind. So, Renuka, can you read the purport, please? It's a beautiful verse, actually.
Yep. Sorry. The yoga system conceived by Patanjali is referred to herein. In the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, the soul is called Pratyak Atma and Parak Atma. As long as the soul is attached to sense enjoyment, it is called Parak Atma. But as soon as the soul becomes detached from such sense enjoyment, it is called Pratyak Atma. The soul is subjected to the functions of 10 kinds of air at work within the body. and this is perceived through the breathing system. The Patanjali system of yoga instructs one on how to control the functions of the body's air in a technical manner, so that ultimately all the functions of air within becomes favorable for purifying the soul of material attachment. According to this yoga system, Pratyak Atma is ultimate goal. This Pratyak Atma is withdrawn from activities in matter. The senses interact with the sense objects, like the ear for hearing, eyes for seeing, nose for smelling, tongue for tasting, and hand for touching. And all of them are thus engaged in activities outside the self. They are called the functions of the pranavayu. The apnava,
Apanavayu.
apanavayu goes downwards. Vayanavayu acts to shrink and expand. And Samanavayu adjusts equilibrium. Udanavayu goes upwards. And when one is enlightened, one engages all these in searching for self-realization.
Self-realization. So there are the different vayus, So they are pranavayu, apanavayu, udanavayu, samanavayu. So when we actually do the offering to the Lord, when we put the thali in front of the Lord, we say Pinchami, Pranayasva, Udanayasva, Apanayasva, Samanayasva, Brahmanesva. So these are the various things that we are offering along with the the matter. From matter we are preparing some preparations and then offering to the Lord. But is that sufficient? No. We also have to offer our pranavayu, apanavayu, udanavayu, samanavayu. So when we are also offering those to the Lord, that time we are actually completely offering ourselves to the Lord along with that food. And that by doing everything, we are making sure that we are preparing ourselves to offer to the Lord. So it's a daily practice by which we are trying our best to offer ourselves to the Lord by various vayus. So, sarvan indriyan karmani, that the karma of all the senses are offered. So all offered is prana karmani, the activities of prana, vayu. In pranayam, the breathing is regulated, and as a means to regulate the breathing, turn the consciousness inward. And in the process of Ashtanga Yoga, there is a stage called Pratyahara, where one cuts off all the senses. Jnana yogis also in many ways wanted to have sadhana of Ashtanga Yoga because their process is also to turn consciousness inward. Some Jnana yogi may also use sadhana of Bhakti Yoga. Sometimes they may think about impersonal Brahman or practice neti principle. So in whatever way they wanted to turn their consciousness inward. Atma Samyama Yogagnau. They are self-controlled. They are trying to turn inwards in the fire of inward mind. Juvati Dhyana Deepite. Because they are illuminated by knowledge and because of the urge of self-realization. Because of knowledge, they realize that the real knowledge is not outward, but it is inward. So Srila Prabhupada's purport is very beautifully, he explains that in the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, the soul is called Pratyaga Atma and Paraga Atma. As long as the soul is attached to sense enjoyment, it is called Paraga Atma. But as soon as the same soul becomes detached from such sense enjoyment, it is called Pratyaga Atma. So Paraga, Raga means detachment, attachment of Paraga. Means when the attachment is attracted outward, attached to things of Paragatma. So they are attracted towards the outward material objects it is still Paraga Atma. And Pratyaga Atma is the soul turns inward and soul becomes detached from Pratyaharas. To becoming Pratyaga Atma is ultimate goal. So Srila Prabhupada in his purport very beautifully explains this, as Renuka Mataji just read. The yoga system conceived by Patanjali is referred to here in the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. So the soul is called Pratyaga Atma and Paraga Atma. So the soul is subjected to the functions of 10 kinds of air at work within the body, and this is perceived through the breathing system. The Patanjali system of yoga instructs one on how to control the functions of the body's air in a technical manner, so that ultimately all the functions of the air within become favorable for purifying the soul of material attachment. So according to this yoga system, Pratyagatma is the ultimate goal. This, according to the yoga system, Pratyagatma is the something, that which withdraws our senses from outward direction to inward direction. So we have to discipline our soul, our body, our every limb, that we don't have to go outward, but go inward. So pranavayu is one of the vayu, and prana is also generic word to describe all the 5 vayus. Just like mind is referred as one of the subtle element in the subtle body. But sometimes mind may be generically used to refer to subtle body. We have matter and mind and consciousness. So mind is generally used to refer to subtle body, of which mind is one component. Similarly, pranavayu is generally used to refer all the pranavayus, or it is used to refer to one of the 5 vayu. For example, samana vayu. Sometime when we move around and round and round and round, we feel vertigo or giddiness. We feel like that because vayu is disrupted, disinclined. So whole system of analyzing the system based on vayu is sophisticated system of analysis. When we look at the body, there are different ways of looking at it. Modern scientists offer one way of looking into the body. The Vedic culture offers different ways of looking at the body. It involves prana, it involves shakti. So Ayurveda offers other, it is called related to kapha. So kapha, pitta and vayu. So these 3 put together makes a person's attributes or properties, that what kind of treatment has to be given when this person is sick, because he has more pitta or more vata or more kapha pravritti. So what kind of medication has to be given? It is not like everyone is taking paracetamol if they have a fever. So everyone is given the medication depending on its condition, on the combination of prana, apana, and kapha, vata, pitta, pravritti that they have in their body. Yeah. So we'll stop here today. Any questions, please?
No.
Okay. So we'll chant the Vaishnava Pranam and then close the class today. Ready? Yeah.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Kripa
sindhubhayavacha
Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namo
Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava
Vaishnava
Vrinda
Vrinda
ki
ki
jai.
jai
Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki
ki
jai.
jai
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare